All right, there were three main topics that Delta brought up in their NGBA presentation: end-of-year hiring rumors, concerns about ultra-low cost and competition, and fleet simplification. We're going to ignore the presentation they did on Propel, their pilot pipeline program, because it's a little outside the scope here. So Delta currently employs about 12,648 pilots. 1,800 of those took an early out package, which works out to be about 14%. 17 left the line for non-flying positions, but they stayed within Delta. They talked about a number of folks that were offered CJOs in 2020 during COVID. They did not specify the number of folks that were given these, but Delta has been staying in touch, and they do plan on bringing these folks on as the recovery continues. So if you're one of those folks that had a conditional job offer, but you're not sure where you stand, they did make it clear they are still going to bring you on. Retirements are upcoming, and that is what is looking like is going to fuel pilot hiring. They're focused on three areas in terms of recovery: taking care of their people, minimizing their cash burn, and what they call doing no harm. So as for taking care of their people, they've implemented a high-risk pay protection for employees who can't come to work due to health concerns or high-risk family members. So you have an issue with your family, you still get paid, don't have to come to work. They're offering rapid testing in 7 of their domiciles. They're doing contact tracing. Basically, Delta's thing throughout this process has been maintaining a high degree of employee safety and satisfaction. They're using this as an opportunity to bring them closer together and circle the wagons as opposed to push them further apart. In terms of minimizing cash burn, they're retiring multiple fleets: the 777, the MD-80 and 90, and the 73700 by the end of 2021. By the end of 2025, they plan on retiring the 76300, the 717, and the CRJ200. They are going to move to a simplified fleet that's going to consist of A350s, A330-900s, the 321 family, including the Neo, the A220-100 and 300, and the 737NG. If you notice, they're moving to an almost all Airbus fleet. The 737NG looks like the only aircraft they're going to have that's not Airbus. The deliveries for these aircraft should go through about the end of 2026. They cannot confirm or deny hiring by the end of 2021, but it is highly unlikely. It is more realistic to expect they're going to use the rest of the year to recall the people that they currently have, bring those folks with the CJOs on board, and then look to hiring new pilots in summer 2022 if the recovery goes well. They did talk about some things that we believe can be used as leading indicators to see if they're going to speed up or slow down that hiring timeline. Namely, they're investing in Seattle, LA, Salt Lake City, and LaGuardia airports. In terms of where passenger traffic is going in those areas, where they're putting money in those areas, and overall how those hubs are going is really going to be a pretty good indication in terms of how their business is going. They talked specifically about how it was a challenge for them to downsize, and it's going to be a challenge for them to reintegrate employees. And that's why taking a look at how these hubs are going is going to be a pretty good indicator on how that's working out for them. The last big thing that they talked about was the ultra low cost carrier competition. Basically, they're not worried about it, and they talked about it specifically. In not so many words, they kind of said that Delta is not going after the same clientele that the ultra low costs are. They say they look forward to the competition and they think it's going to make them better, which does kind of make sense in terms of not going after the same clientele if you take a look at Delta's efforts in the past, specifically around business travelers. So look, we'll see how that goes. As Southwest push into some of those markets, JetBlue pushes into some of those markets, Frontier, Spirit, so on and so forth. We'll see if it actually makes them better or if it actually starts hitting at their bottom line. So that was kind of it in a nutshell. Hopefully this was beneficial for you. One big takeaway that I took from this: if you've already gotten your application review done, log in monthly and update it. It costs you nothing. You already invested the time and the effort and the money in getting that put together. If you have the PDF that we gave you that shows you what to update, use that. If not, there'll be a link below to my calendar. Click it, put some time on there. I'll get you the latest updated PDF copy that we have so you know what to update. It helps the algorithm. They see you updating every month. Also down below, you'll see a PDF with some additional details that they talked about in the presentation that I didn't include in this because I'm trying to keep it short. And you'll also see a link to our previous rapid fire recap for Southwest that was done last week. So hope all is well, fly safe, and talk soon.